Today we are reviewing Chapter 12 concepts by working on problems from the homework packet. People are finishing their stats projects. What do I need to do? Oh, turn this guy on.
You want the TV on?
Yes, please, in case they're there. Okay, first page. Solve each equation for y, write the slope and y-intercept, then use them to graph. So there's three things you need to do. Solve for y, figure out slope and intercept, and graph. So problem 1, if I want to get y by itself, the first thing memo that I do is I subtract that 2x. Minus the 2x from both sides. The 2 doesn't actually minus from the 12 because this one has an x and that doesn't. I'll rewrite 3y equals negative 2x plus 12. The 3y I have just, Andy, moved over so that there is room for my equation right here. The minus 2x I'm going to put first, because in my y equals form, that's what we usually do. And I've shifted the 12 back, and I put a plus because it was a positive 12. Now I'm going to divide all terms by 3 to get the y by itself. Y equals negative 2/3 x plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. Okay, so step 1, solve for y. That's what you need to do. Step 2, slope and intercept we can find now that we have it in y equals form, and all we got to do is write them down right here and right here. In this equation, what's the m and what's the b? The m is the number in front of the x, the coefficient, negative 2/3. What's the b? 4. Okay, so that's step 2. You got to identify slope and intercept. If you have already worked on problems, double check that you have done this and you have done this. Lastly, you're going to use that slope and intercept to graph. What this intercept is, this b, is you go to the y-axis, and the first thing you do is you plot that point. Positive 4 on the y-axis is right here underneath the 5. Put a dot. The next thing you do is you use the slope, and this is rise over run. So from this dot, the number on top tells you to either go up or go down. In this case, it's a negative 2, so we're going to go down. 1, 2, and then always go to the right with whatever the denominator is. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there we go. Questions? All right, let's take a look at the middle problem on the right-hand side, because I see a thing with a negative that's going to be interesting. Again, we want to solve for y. We want to get y by itself. Christopher Bernal, in order to get y by itself, what do I need to move as a first step? Oh, you're going to move the y? You can. You want to move the y? Moving the y is one way to go about it. If I want to move this y and it's a negative y, I'm going to add a y to both sides. Minus y plus y, those cancel on this side. 3x equals 2 plus y. Again, the y and the 2 don't add, but we show them as added as an expression, but they're unlike terms. Now I want to get y by itself. Andy, what would I do as a next step to get the y by itself?
Alright, let's go minus y.
We already moved the y.
Minus 2.
Minus the 2 here, minus the 2 there. Okay, so we're going to get y equals 3x minus 2. And again, this 2 does not have an x, so I can't actually subtract it from the 3, but I'm going to write it as 3x minus 2. Once I have y by itself, if it helps you, you can flip things around. Okay, again, the 3 in front of the x and this minus 2 are the m and the b, the slope and the y-intercept. Anna, which one is which? Just the 3. Good. The number in front of the x, not the x itself. Okay, so we start with this minus 2, and I'm going to plot a point. Brody, where does this point go?
Negative, on the negative 2.
On the negative 2, which line?
On the y.
On the y. Here's the y. Negative 2 is right here. We put a dot. Now, this doesn't look like a rise over run. How do I fix this? Put it over 1. So if I've got 3 over 1, from this dot memo, where do I go next? Here's my slope.
3.
3 which direction? 3 up. Good job. 1, 2, 3 up, and then to the right 1. So all of the problems on this page have 3 things that you need to do. Get y by itself, fill in the lines down here with the numbers you get after you have it in y equals form, and then use that slope and intercept to graph. Everybody do one more problem off of this page, or double check with the people at your table one problem. I'm going to walk around. Double check the ones that you have with the people around you.
Yes.
Dyslexic, so you're going to look at them together. You double check. I see different graphs. You might want to talk to each other.
Oh, I thought it was like
That's
sideways.
my eyeballs.
Or
One
here.
of you is right, one of you is wrong, or both are right. Well, not both right. Both are wrong. Something wrong.
Is that a Snickers bar this time, or is it still not? Oh,
That one you saw the wrong one. That's down here.
It's like
Okay,
chocolate.
so why don't you take this one? Just take this equation and write it right there.
Score came out, not four Snickers.
Let me see the front page. Okay. Good, you've got them all in the y equals. Alright. Nice. Okay, so you're doing another. You're not playing, right? Okay, you gotta get y by itself. Wait. Let's see what we have.
But you got this stuff, right? Time for you to put your phone away. How many times do I have to tell you just to put it on there so it's going in?
Sounds like mother, bro.
Can Andy use your glasses for a second?
See how the X touch the fire? You untouch it. And then you stick it
Do we all agree here?
So you just have it.
Pretty sick.
You just have it. Yep.
Okay, flip the page. There will be time to work some more. We have people in different spots on this, so we're kind of making sure we're checking in to see if it's okay, but some are done and some are not. Second page, the little mini graphs. One thing that's important is read the directions. In each problem, first plot the given point, then use a ruler to draw a line through the point with the slope. Okay, so for example, first point is -2, 4. If I start right here, Martine, where do I go to plot -2, 4? From the origin. What does that -2 tell me?
You gotta go where the X origin is.
Good. What?
On the left you go 2.
Thank you. 1, 2 to the left.
4 down.
And 4 down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Excellent. This is the X. This is the Y. They're both negative, so we're going left and down. Awesome. Now, here's our slope, 5/3. Andy.
So aren't you gonna go up 5 and up 3?
From this dot we just plotted, up 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5/3. What direction, Andy?
To the right.
Good. 1, 2, 3. There's our second dot. So you don't have to do as much work. You need to know what to do with that point and slope. So plot the point, get the slope, draw the line. There's your first line. Kenya, second one is 1, 1. From the origin, where do I go to get to 1, 1? Up 1 and to the right 1. Rise over run. Well, actually, X, Y. There's 1, 1. Okay, now I've got my slope from that dot. Slope is 2/3. Chris V, what do I do with 2/3?
You go up 2 and over 3.
1, 2, 1, 2, 3. There's my second line. Okay, double check what you have on your paper with the people around you and or do the next. Oh wait, look at this one. The slope is 2. What am I going to have to do with it? Thank you. There we go. Okay, double check what you have if they're all finished. Do the next one if this is the first time you've seen them.
That should be a negative. Because it's the negative slope.
Okay, I was wondering what these little speeches were. Interesting.
Yeah.
Match. Nice. So you went straight to the slope. First you gotta do the slope. And the point. And -3 is on the x-axis. Now do what you did. Yeah. There you go. Flip the page.
This is where it gets confusing.
This is where it gets confusing. Okay, next page looks like this. And yes, there are circled problems. The first thing is a set of points. Line AB contains points AB. Line CD contains points CD. Are AB and CD parallel, perpendicular, or neither? You're going to need more paper than what they give you to work the work. So first thing I'm going to do is for number 1, look at A and B. For A and B, I need to find a slope. Stapler. Is stapler over by you guys, Ernesto? The stapler's over there. Okay. I need to find a slope for A and B. It's going to be a big fraction. What's going to go on top of the fraction?
The 8 and 8 plus 3.
Try again. 11 minus 3. Y2 minus Y1. Excuse me, memo. Okay, Y2 minus Y1. Then minus 4 minus negative 8. Excuse me. We subtracted this way and this way. Whatever way you do it, make sure you do it both the same. So the 11 was first and the minus 4 was first. But one key is the y's are on top. That's your rise over rise. And your x's are on the bottom. Now to do that, subtract. Ignore the bottom for a minute. 11 minus 3 is 8. Now for the bottom, we have a lot of pluses and minuses. We're going to do a keep, change, change. Keep, change, change. It's 4. That reduces to 2. Now we have another line, CD. So now we have to look at those two ordered pairs. Again, we're going to find the slope. They want us to tell whether it's parallel, perpendicular, or neither. And we've been working on how to compare slopes. The first thing to know, though, is finding a slope from a set of points. Who goes on top, x's or y's? Try again. Y's go on top. The second thing to know is which of these numbers in my ordered pairs are the y's. Christian, what am I going to put on top? 2 minus 3. He took y2 and minus y1. He subtracted like this. So on the bottom, we're going to make this one x2 and subtract x1. Positive 1 minus a negative 1. You just have to be organized and methodical. Do things the same way. Now, 2 minus 3 is like 2 plus negative 3. What's going to happen when I add a positive 2 and a negative 3? Negative 1 over keep, change, change. Keep, change, change. 2. Now, all that work, and then the last piece you need to do is compare these two numbers. Are they the same? No, so it's not parallel. What does it need to be perpendicular?
Opposites.
Opposites in two ways. Negative reciprocal. So positive, negative, that's one characteristic. 2, you can think of this as 2 over 1 and 1 over 2. Those are reciprocals. So these are parallel. Right here, the answer to 1 is parallel. Oh, sorry. I was testing you. Perpendicular. But in order to figure that out, we had to take these 2 ordered pairs and find the slope, and these 2 ordered pairs and find the slope. Please do number 2 right now. Again, I saw Mr. Craig walking around with paper. There's more paper right there, or lined paper. You're not going to be able to have enough room on this paper to do that kind of problem.